Thank you. Thank you, Vishmi. So, a very good afternoon yet to everyone. Let me just recap what all happened here in this segment. So, today is a very, very grand and big day, I must say, for the Foundation of Goodness. I don't think we've mentioned this before, but the Lahiru preschool at the foundation has been under construction for a few months now, I believe, and because of that there has been so much clutter here and there. They had to move classes here and there, up and down, and also because of that a lot of things got moved, but that all happened for the better. So today, if you step onto the Lahiru preschool, when I first stepped onto it and I saw the transformation that the preschool had undergone, I couldn't believe my eyes at first. My immediate reaction was, wow. I think I said it out loud because it was that beautiful. The architecture was so good, the interior was on point, the concept, the colors, everything I felt like had a meaning behind it. Everything was subtle but told very well. So even if you look at all the different boards, I think from the font to the messaging to the colors, so much thought had gone into everything, and it looks fantastic. It gives such a calming feeling, but at the same time it has that playfulness associated with it for a kid to enjoy. So I think it's a space overall, not just for children to enjoy, but I think any adult can even go there and enjoy. And if you ever want to have a workshop for adults or teenagers, I still think that space would be beautiful even for that. So kudos to the entire team who worked tirelessly behind putting this concept together. And I must emphasize, it's not just a building. I think the preschool was already at a very good state previously, but now it's not just a building. It's like a beautiful space that can offer so much, and there's so much simplicity associated with it, but at the same time there's so much depth in the space. So I think overall a fantastic job, and months of hard work, I believe. People who have poured their sweat and soul to this financially, through their creative spirits, intellectual spirits, overall very well done. So Kushil, you must be beaming with pride today.
Yeah, I mean, how beautifully explained and articulated in a way that only someone of your stature who can speak English to that extent so perfectly can actually explain the way you did. I'm truly impressed and beyond words that I can also explicit, because I feel that it has been done from the heart. I think you said what has to be said, really in a very sensational manner, very coming from your heart, like you said, the colors, the concept, the subtleness, but the messaging and the graphics, everything has been so beautifully curated that and so light to the eye, and everything that has been designed with the in-house expertise, especially, all credit must go not to me but to Rashmini, and Rashmini probably got some ideas from, in terms of probably the boards that have been designed came from Hanim, and but at the end of the day it's a project that has been spearheaded by Rashmini. I myself is someone that do not want to go and see too much of anything that is broken. I would like to see the end product, and it so happened that I was also taken ill for 4 weeks, so I didn't have the opportunity of coming to Senegama, but it also worked well. I told them to open on the 7th, but they wouldn't want to do it without me, and they said you have to be there. But actually, in a way, this is like the heartbeat of the Foundation of Goodness, humble beginnings, because this is where we began. In 1999, I remember we had just got those two, buildings, and I think one of the first to contribute was Siddharth Vettimuni, and he gave 100,000, and I remember, with about 200,000 rupees, we were able to do everything, in 1999. From that time, for 5 years, just behind my, the villa, we had this operational center, like a village heartbeat empowerment center, teaching kids English, training them in computers. We had a maternity clinic, we had a children's play park, youth productive activities, good values, women's empowerment, project management of the 3-4 villages we were working on. So it was an exciting place, but no one ever, not in my wildest dream, did I ever think that this very place that gave birth to the Foundation of Goodness would expand a footprint island-wide with about, with 21 centers to our credit right now, and reaching out to probably 750 to 1,000 villagers, and having a student base of about 9,000, right? On kids, youth and the women being empowered. So this, from that standpoint, is a very, very, special place. It's like a mother giving birth to 10 children, and the 10 children going to places that the mother would never ever think of. So it had the first phase from 1999 to 2004, from after the tsunami, 2006 to 2025, the preschool began there, and then now the preschool has got completely refurbished. I mean, I've been to some preschools, not to brag or boast about the Foundation of Goodness, but been to some preschools even overseas. This is done in a manner that is truly outstanding, extraordinary, and like you rightly said, the color scheme itself is very pleasing to the ear. The graphic designs are of a superior, projection. It's beautifully curated and exceptionally done. So, I mean, when I assign something to Rashmini, I don't go to look into it any further, because I know unless it's budgets, she and I would discuss, but, I give it to her and I know the task will be absolutely in great shape to be completed. When she did the front of our building with an action unit and finding dreams for special needs kids, the dental clinic, the boardroom, and the psychosocial support unit, everything. That was, I think, the most talked of building, within the mini campus of the Foundation of Goodness. But suddenly people started to tell me in the last week, you have no idea until you come and see the preschool that it has surpassed all other, benchmarking of designs. So maybe it rightly deserves the very, upscaling of this facility, because this is where the Foundation of Goodness actually started, and for the work that has done island-wide to empower so many rural disadvantaged communities. It has blossomed in a way that I didn't expect. And to the with attention to detail, if you talk of like even the waste disposal management, I think let's say whatever the containers that are actually kept in that premises are of a very stylish design. I mean, that is Rashmini, because she would somehow find a way to benchmark something and do it differently, keeping in line with the current traditions or current vogue or the trend. It's just not coming and keeping like a container saying plastics, but as you saw, it's done differently, but so that even the kids get attracted to it. It's beautifully laid out. There's no two words about it. And it actually was stunning, to say the least. I think everyone who came for the opening was absolutely thrilled and had only words of praise and value of how this has evolved into what it is today. So the 4 teachers are very fortunate as well, and I'm sure from here the preschool kids will start to begin a new journey, because we try to inculcate the Japanese style of teaching preschoolers, or the Finland. Those are the methods that we research and then teach and train the techniques for good life skills and values for their own well-being going into the future. So from that standpoint, again, I salute and applaud Rashmini for taking the lead of this undertaking. It took, like you said, a couple of months, at least 3-4 months, but we were patient. We had to show our previous preschool by way of visual images to visitors, but we are also so lucky. If we do not speak about this fact, it's I think we are not being duty bound. We didn't have the money on our own reserves to say, hey, let's see what we can do to upgrade the preschool. But we said that it's now 20 years old, we need to do something. But by that time, one of our benefactors is Tom Seabrook, who's been a pillar of strength to us, being involved with the MCC, and he's been the liaison between MCC and the Foundation of Goodness, and for so long, and his heart is also truly so beautiful that he also wants to help from time and again. And when his family and him came, the whole family has gone to one school, and he said maybe we can get our school, Port Regis, from the Surrey County to help, and that they will help as well. And they raised the funds for the estimated cost. So that was so lucky to have got the sponsorship from that family. And actually by Monday, when they see these photographs of the opening, they would rejoice in advancing years that they had made an impactful difference for kids in these areas to be so blessed to inherit this kind of early education and to reshape their life and never to forget what they will, how they will navigate their life. So I salute and applaud, praise and value Mr. Tom Seabrook and his entire family, not to forget the Port Regis Surrey County School, which has actually taken on this task to rebuild, and they would be truly unexpecting a development of this magnitude. The way it has been actually delivered is truly outstanding and exemplary. So all I can say is I'm very blessed to have that kind of team behind. Of course, Rashmini, there have been so many other Center of Excellence who actually worked very hard. Champa, the 4 teachers, preschool teachers, Amila, and even the maintenance crew, they were all the time monitoring and, following up to make sure that every little detail has been seen to. So we're very privileged, very happy, and I'm more happy because it's a very place that gave birth to the Foundation of Goodness has now been upgraded for the 3rd time, and maybe the 4th marathon lap now is underway, which probably is my last.
Ignoring that last part, I think I like what you said, how this is like the heartbeat of the foundation. I think it's very symbolic because it's the foundation of goodness, and the foundation for goodness of children also start from a preschool and that age. So it's very symbolic with the name of the Foundation of Goodness as well, and overall beautiful effort to see. And I know even I have personally seen preschools in Colombo and in the suburbs, but I believe this far exceeds anything I have personally seen as well. So that says a lot about how blessed whoever the kids are in this area, whoever gets the opportunity to come here and learn. And it's not about learning letters and numbers, as rightfully pointed out by these teachers. There's a lot of emphasis on values and love and kindness and all of those as well. So overall, a beautiful foundation. I must say that any kid who walks in will be truly blessed.
And if you want to really change the world and make a difference, I think from an early learning of kids, whether it's life skills or good values, or to become meaningful citizens, you have to start early. Just not only from an educational standpoint, but you have to understand what values are, what qualities, how the systems are adapted, the standards, and a vision. So I think all coupled together, and with these 4 teachers combining to bring the best out of them, I'm hoping that the best is yet to come. So everyone who's involved are like stakeholders of these kids making headway to make progress, for their lives to be illuminated. So we are very lucky to have had our sponsors, Tom C. Brook and Port Regis School and his family, along with the team that worked relentlessly and tirelessly, spearheaded by Rashmini, to make this happen. Has been truly a phenomenal journey, and I for one never thought that this would be the outcome that we have actually seen today and come to experience. So I was just talking, even to the extent of the washrooms, that has been done, been carefully thought of. Obviously, she's done so much research. I mean, she's not a interior designer by profession, but she's gone to the extent of looking at every single angle. Probably, she used AI, she went to Google, she found, and the 2 bathrooms are also done meticulously. I haven't seen anything like that in a preschool before. So, only thing is, like the Foundation of Goodness does, we have to sustain it, we have to maintain it, we have to keep the highest standards, so it's a big challenge as well from now onwards for teachers, the maintenance crew, but Foundation of Goodness has always been, doing this meticulously to sustain and maintain the standards that we have aspired to achieve.
I agree. Maintenance and supervision is key, but I have no doubt, because all these teachers, they seem very energetic and enthusiastic, and I'm sure it's in good hands. And one thing I also noted is that the structure, I believe, remains the same, apart from maybe the center structure. Like the overall structure remains the same from the previous. So that means they have done it in a very optimal way financially to keep that structure, yet transform it into something completely different and beautiful. So very well done.
Yeah, and I think what I was talking to the teachers is also to kind of, have some things to implement that are different. So essentially, what I want to say is that these teachers will come up with ideas that are very different to what we're doing. I mean, to try and change from time and again, and to go with the new trend of teaching modules, the techniques, the methodologies. I mean, we always try to follow the Japan and the Finland systems in place, where we teach more kids the life skills, life values, and in general to be inculcating manners, respect, dignity, etc. And I was also telling them that to teach kids something like, I will speak the truth. I will share even if I have little to give, and I will not yield to anger. Speaking the truth, not yielding to anger, giving even if you have little to share. So I think those things at a preschool, when you keep making them learn and understand, I think they will continue to abide by those what they learned from the preschool and probably never forget. So at least we are making them work towards a meaningful citizenship, and this is just the platform that has been established for them to launch a much better career and prospects.
Beautiful thoughts, and a beautiful and a grand day, I believe, for the Foundation of Goodness. The reopening of the Lahiru preschool happened today, and it was a very lovely opening ceremony coupled with a transformational building.
And Vishmi was at his element. Vishmi was at her elements.
I heard. Vishmi was at her usual best. Yes, so a very warm, it's a cold weather today, but a warm and lovely day for the Foundation of Goodness. So ladies and gentlemen, that brings us to the end of this segment, the Gemi Sathuta segment. So thank you very much for listening in. Thank you to all the teachers, and thank you to Mr. Kushal for joining in, and we will be right back with you after this. Yes, we have some last words.
Lastly, since gratitude is the best attitude, I'm always very thankful to the sponsors, because without the sponsors, we would not have been able to deliver such an impactful undertaking to make these kids shine and bright, in their career path. So with that in mind, again, my heartfelt gratitude goes out to Mr. Tom Seabrook and his family, who's been an amazing partner of ours for 20 odd years now, plus the Port Regis School that had come to support them in their endeavor to fund, develop and deliver this preschool, and the way it has turned out to be, I know, like I said before, the donors will be very satisfied and take into their heart what they did, and as I always say, nothing multiplies so much as kindness, and doing the best for others, we will experience the best for ourselves.
Mr. Tom, if you're listening, we are very grateful to you and all the sponsors. Thank you very much for making this happen, and thank you to the entire team who brought this concept to life. And like I said before, it's a transformational project, a milestone day for the Foundation of Goodness, and may this be the beginning of many, many wonderful things yet to come. So thank you very much everyone for tuning in, and we will be here till 5 p.m. at the Good News Radio, and we will be right back with the next segment after this, a very quick song break.
Finally, I just remembered that in the last 20 years, we've graduated 513 students from approximately 25 villages, and 3 of them are now in the university and 1 in Singapore.
Beautiful success stories. Maybe we can dive deep into these stories at next week or one of the upcoming segments. So thank you very much everyone, and we will be right back with this very quick musical break.